Hi, ABQ moms. My name's Brittany, and I am here today. Of course, my little one comes in as soon as I start. That's the life of a working mom. So I am here today with Michelle V. Hillwick, who is a kindergarten teacher at Manzano Day School. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to prepare your incoming kindergartner for the next school year and what you can do now to get everything set. So Michelle, I'd like you to introduce yourself to our audience, and then we can kind of jump right in.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle V. Hillwick. I have been teaching at Manzano Day School for 18 years, and previously I have been teaching at Albuquerque Public Schools. I taught in Tucson. My background is in special education and early childhood special education.
That's great. Awesome. Hold on. I'm going to grab my little guy. Everyone, we have a little guest star. So Michelle, I think one of the most nerve-wracking times as a parent is when your first child, or really even any child, is going into kindergarten. You want to make sure that they're prepared as best as possible. And so, as a kindergarten teacher, what are some of the things you're looking for in students when they kind of enter your classroom in August? What are some of the skills that they need to be really successful from the get-go?
I think one of the most important things for kindergartners, it's not the pre-academic skills, such as mastery of letters and numbers and colors and shapes. Instead, a more crucial piece is deciding how your child's social, emotional, and language development is. Mm-hmm. How are they able to self-regulate? Are they able to pay attention and manage their emotions and behavior? For instance, does your child have the ability to play cooperatively or show interest in being with other children or peers? Are they able to share appropriately? Do they show enthusiasm for learning? For instance, are they eager to explore and discover? Are they comfortable asking questions with adults? Are they okay with taking a risk? And honestly, do they have the capacity to persevere when something becomes difficult?
Yeah, those are really good things. I love that. And it's so, I think as parents, we can get so caught up in the do they know their ABCs? How high can they count? And so kind of more of those soft skills, and like you said, kind of resiliency, I think, is a really interesting thing to consider. My next question for you, which I think is going to be an interesting idea, and definitely not as easy if we needed to just know their ABCs, count to 20. What are some things we can do as parents to kind of help foster that resiliency, that innate interest to explore, to ask questions, to work well with others, especially, coming out of COVID? I think a lot of families, especially ones with younger kids, kind of really had to isolate for quite a while. And so I'd love to hear your thoughts on how to kind of make up some of that lost time of getting kids ready to start school in the fall.
Exactly. I think one of the most important things parents can do is just to build enthusiasm for learning, for math, for reading, and that the best way you can do this is by reading books to them, communicating with your child each and every day, letter knowledge or number sense with books, or, exploring, taking a nature walk and talking and communicating about the things that you see, and engaging in that curiosity. What do you think this is? What does this do? In addition, having some play dates with family, with cousins, and with other friends. And now that we're more able to go to the park, is your child playing alongside someone? Are they okay with establishing that, relationship or a friendship, talking to them? I think that's the most important piece. Are they able to get their needs met, to communicate their needs to another adult? I need the restroom, or, I'm not able to put my jacket on. Will you help me, please? I think those are the things that are really important.
Yeah, I love that. And I think those are things that we can easily kind of incorporate into everyday life. It's not like we have to set aside time like, okay, now we're going to prep for kindergarten. It's like you said, kind of just those everyday skills. And I love the part about like being able to ask for help. I think that's such a good skill, even for myself. Sometimes I still need to learn how to ask for help.
Absolutely. Another thing that you can do is just inorganically in home life is, expecting chores. Will you help me set the table?
Mhm.
There are 4 people in our family. How many plates do we need? And let's one plate for each person. So, the expectation of maybe putting the dirty dishes into the dishwasher or taking them out, helping to sort the socks, just having those little chores that are teachable moments, but they're also having that expectation of, this is how we're going to do something, and I want you to help me.
I
You
love
know,
that. That's
and it's,
great.
building that community sense, as a family member.
Totally. Yeah. And speaking from my own experience, my kids love when they have a little job, especially when it's like a job in their classroom, like if they're the door holder or things like that. It's really cool to see how excited they are to help. And I think sometimes as parents, we can just be like, oh, I'll do the dishes or things like that. And just finding those times where you can slow down a little bit and incorporate and include them is really awesome. Last question for today. And of course, moms, if you have other questions, feel free to write it in the comments and we can kind of relay your questions to Michelle and get some insight from the expert here. But one thing a lot of my mom friends always talk about, especially if you have kids that are born in the summer, should you send them to kindergarten when they're 5, or should you kind of hold them back a year? As a teacher, kind of what would you suggest parents kind of consider? We talked a little bit about how they're regulating their emotions and things like that. But is there any other things that they should consider on deciding kind of when to start kindergarten for their kiddos who might have a later birthday?
Right. I think one of the things to consider is that kindergarten is now an all day long experience, and there's a lot more academics involved. And
Mhm.
is your child, again, able to communicate their needs? We do have a rest period at the beginning of every year, and depending on the students in the classroom, some classes like to have a nap, but more and more often I'm noticing that children don't want to nap. So do they need a nap? Are they able to follow a 2-step direction, such as, brush your teeth and get your pajamas on? If you're having to, chase them and corral them, it may be that they need a little more time just to
Mhm.
develop and play and, go about their life without as many expectations. Are they able to, um, like I said, follow through with expectations, follow some directions, and I guess more importantly, do they have an interest in learning, and are they able to talk to other people? Some of the similar things that we talked about as if they are ready.
Yeah, no, I love that. Great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're super busy, so I really appreciate it. And like I said, if you guys have any other questions about kindergarten or Manzano Day School in general, feel free to leave it in the comments. And thank you so much, Michelle. It was great talking with you today.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. Thank you so much. Have a
Have a good
wonderful
day.
day. Bye bye.
Bye.